Hello there, and welcome to Kingdom Business Network. This is your business forum where we talk about growth in business, wealth creation, and it's been very helpful for many people. People have been calling and sharing their testimonials on how they're getting help because we bring you real-time, very important tips, ideas, wisdom from people that have been in business for a long time. Some of them advisory and sharing their experiences, their ups and downs, and so this is a very important program. So I'm glad you have tuned in, and wherever you are, sit, share with your friends, and let's all come around the table and talk about business. And remember, the most important is that we want your business to grow. We want your business to thrive. If you're starting a business, we want also to make sure that you actually succeed in that business. And today again with me, I have Dr. Francis Mungai, who is a business consultant, and I have no doubt he has wisdom. And what are we talking about today, Dr. Mungai? You can tell us.
Well, I remember last week we talked about overcoming business challenges to see how business can grow. And we started by talking about some very key aspects of business. One was cash flow. Please, you can refer to what we discussed last week. I believe it's available on Facebook. And we also talked about employee. We talked about cash being king and very, very important in a business. Now today we want to look at another king. The other king is customers. And we want to look at the aspect of how you can make your business customer-centric.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that sounds like a very interesting topic today. Mm-hmm. And we want to think about customer. So, and beside me here, we have Steve Kamau, who is also a businessman and a business mentor and entrepreneur. So, well, you can greet our people out there and tell them what to expect today.
Hi viewers, it's nice to be here again to share a few nuggets about business, and looking forward to discussing about customers, because that's what drives any business. Without customers, it doesn't matter how much stock you have or how much capital you have. Without customers, your business is not going to thrive. So I look forward to this discussion. Please tune in and share this message so that someone else can tune in and listen in and get helped.
Indeed, well said. Without customer, there's no business. So, well, Enoch again is here. What is in your mind, Enoch?
Thank you so much, Bishop. Hi, viewers. Thank you for joining us once again. This is the Kingdom Business Network. I'm so proud to know that there are those who are really consistent with this. And I must assure you, God has blessed us, God has empowered us with the skills, the knowledge you need to move your business to the next level. Today we are talking about customers, and I believe customers is king. Everyone is looking for a customer, whether a big company or small company. Even Safaricom is looking for a customer. Mm-hmm. The other day someone made a statement and said that Safaricom sells chapati. Mm-hmm. We laughed, we're like, how? They are looking for 20 bob, 10 bob, from each and every one. So, they also have a strategy on how they are managing customers. So customers is a broad topic, and I believe we are going to understand, because there are challenges. There are people who have a challenge of few customers. There's someone who is into business but is wondering where a customer is going to come from. But there are also people whose challenge now is having very many customers. They don't know how to handle them, to retain them, and it's really broad. That is why you should not change the dial. Just stick on. Thank you so much.
I know, Enoch, you have a background training in medicine. Yes. So, and now you're doing marketing and all that. Maybe you can mention something about that, and why did you think of marketing and networking businesses?
Well, thank you so much, Bishop. The reason why I shifted to the marketing side, it is because probably the company I joined, because when I was still practicing medicine, I got an idea to work with a startup. It was a company that was selling supplements, so they invited me over So when I joined in, I loved the way they did their business. I loved the way their products helped. Actually, they helped my clients. I had very many clients who got good results. Then one day I happened to go attend one of their trainings. It was about business, it was about health. So my interest was business this time because I wasn't so much talented in business. I needed to know how I can add an extra income to my main salary. So what happened is, when I went with them, I followed them over and over again. I learned very many things. So time came that I was making more money in business than I was being paid on my job. You know, so that attracted the leaders to make me stand and talk and now train people because I had the results. Now, when I began training people about the business, about health, the thing grew bigger. I was like, you know, I was doing it all my life, training all my life, yet I just, you know, started. And it helped me that very many people related with me. I gave advice, it worked for them, we grew together. People who didn't even have a background in medicine, a background in business, because of what I learned, we applied and it worked for us. Right now, I'm working with a company known as Digital Adverts Limited, Kenya. I'm the chief trainer here. But when you look at how we started with about 4 of us. Right now, we have over 800,000 registrations. Yes. Now that is a big network, and you cannot maintain it if you don't have a skill, the art of managing clients or customers. So in my area of expertise, I've been trained to handle customers, to train people on how you can handle a customer, grow your market base, and things like that. That is why I'm so excited about today's program. And Bishop, I'm ready. Yes.
Thank you. So you left your career kind of, and nothing is goes to waste. Yes. Whatever you're trained for, whether you are in that line or you go to something else, they all complement each other. So, Dr. Mungai, maybe you can expand a little bit about customer, and then we can dive in and begin to share more.
Thank you very much. Now, a customer is very, very important in a business. Last week we talked about cash flow being king. There's also another king in the house. And I don't know who comes first, whether it is the king of the cash or the king of the customer. It's a chicken and egg situation. But those two are very, very, very key in a business. Today, we look at customers. A customer is the center of attention for any successful business. And that's what brings in the issue of what we are talking about, customer centricity, whereby you make sure that every decision that you're making in your business is centered on the customer. That means you bring in the customer to become the focal point of your business decision, because without a customer, your business will not exist. Without a customer, your business will surely die. The reason why you find one's business being more successful than the other is simply because one has more customers and they are able to retain those customers, and they are also able to make them loyal. So today what you need to understand is that for you to be successful in your business, you need to have a customer base which is loyal to you, and that means basically you have retained them. So it's not just an issue of acquiring customers. You see, customer acquisition is very expensive. If we told you go look for customers, it will cost you. It will cost you the cost of your salespeople. You'll have to pay them in advance to go around looking for a customer. And a lot of businesses spend a lot trying to acquire a customer. But many do fail because after they acquire that customer, they are not able to retain the customer. You know? So for you to run a successful business, you need to acquire the customer. Then you need to retain that customer, and then you need to make the customer loyal. That means he needs to be what we call repeat purchases. That means when he needs to come and buy something, the same item, the first person he needs to think about, it's you. And this will come down to some of the things we're going to discuss. How did you treat that customer? How satisfied was that customer? How delighted was that customer with your service? You know, we also don't want to just move to customer satisfaction. We want to move from satisfying the customer to delighting the customer. And we'll discuss some of those things. So today we look at all that, and it will help your business to grow.
So you're saying the first place is acquiring
yes.
the customer, and then The second,
retaining the
how do you retain them?
Yes.
And acquiring is a whole process.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of marketing that it goes into it, and you have to have the staffing and all that. And then how do you retain them? And then after you've known how to retain them, then that one is
making them loyal.
how do you make them loyal to you, to your business? Because you don't want to get new customers and you lose the old ones.
Exactly.
So you want to make sure that you have new ones, but also the old ones are coming back, and that's how you grow your business. And I think that is very important. And we'll come back now to say, how do we get the customers? How do we retain them? How do we make them, delighted with our business? And Reverend Steve, you can share more.
I think if I use my own experiences on customers, I used to work for a company in the insurance industry, and we were trained heavily on how to handle customers. And so selling insurance is considered one of the hardest sales. But it turned out to be that I was very successful in it, because once you understand that that people need what you're selling, then all you have to do is educate the customer on what you're selling so that they recognize they need it. We were trained to understand that people do not buy insurance. You sell insurance to the people, right? So nobody will knock on the door and say, I'm coming to buy life insurance. But if I come and sit down with you and explain to you about life insurance, then you'll see the need for it, and then you'll buy from me. So one of the key things was to recognize the customer, go into somebody's home and sit down with a husband and wife and explain to them the importance of life insurance, health insurance, so that they're able to see the need for it. So the first meeting was to talk to them and explain to them about our company, explain to them about the products that we offer, how they can benefit them, and how they will benefit them, not now, but into the future. Because you see, all they do is I tell them what it will do for them, and all they do is sign and start paying. It's not like the way you go buy meat and you go home with meat. This, you're going home with a promise. And it's more difficult to sell a promise than a product.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was very successful in selling insurance because I understood the need of talking to the customer and make the customer feel comfortable. The other thing that I did was educate my customers on the need to do what we call referral business. So that by the time I finish selling to you, I ask you, are you happy with my services? Yes. And if you are, please take out your phone and give me 3 important people that you would like to benefit from my services, so that I can also contact them. And I went an extra step and I say to them, because they do not know me and they know you, while I'm sitting here, please go ahead and call them and tell them that I'll be calling them sometime next week. Okay? So the customer would call, the friend said, I'm so excited. Steve Kamau will be calling you. He has helped me and my family in this and this. When he calls you, please listen to him. He has helped me. I give them the script on what to say. So when I call them, I say, well, my name is Steve Kamau. Oh, I was waiting for your call. I was told by Smith how you help them. So we begin the conversation and I sit down with them and I do the same thing with them. So it is so important that you treat customers with care. It is so important that you talk to customers. If a customer comes into your business and they are walking around and you haven't said a word to them, the next thing they're going to tell you, if they stay there for about 3 minutes and you haven't said anything, all they will tell you is, listen, I was just looking, and they walk out because they don't feel appreciated when they come into your business. So it's important that you establish that. And the other pointer that I want to bring across is the importance of being able to be personable. I don't know if that's a word. One time a friend of mine gave me their car to drive, and I drove it and someone liked it. And they said, man, I wish I can get a car like this. I said, I can see if the owner can sell it to you. Okay? Say, please find out. So I called the owner, I say, I have a guy here. He's a friend of mine, he likes your car. Would you like to sell it? Oh, I've been trying to sell it. Okay. So he told me his price and I told the customer my price. You know, so that now I was able to sell the car. Why did they buy the car from me and not to the dealer? Is how I presented. And so it's important to deal.
Did you get a card?
Of course, I just said the owner of the car gave me his price, and I told the customer my price.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, you're in
yeah.
business.
Because I'm in business. Because I'm in business, and it felt good. And even today, it tells me that's the best car that I ever bought.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know, it's important to take care of the customer, and it's not expensive to smile.
Sure.
If you if you don't smile, you're saying I don't need you here. But if you smile, the smile is always welcoming. And so even if you don't feel like smiling, you need the customer.
Absolutely.
And the customer has the money that you need. And if you don't smile, the customer will go to your competitor.
Exactly.
So it's important for you to put that as, it's important for you to be a person, a people person. And if you have a shop and you hired somebody, make sure they can smile. Right? If you hire someone who is always grooming, when a customer comes in, they begin to tell them about their troubles at home. They are not helping your business.
No.
Your business is going to go down. Hire people who can be able to smile, and that involves you training them on how you expect them to handle the customers. Because we're talking about customers here. If you fail to train your employees on how to handle customers, they will handle them the way they have seen customers being handled, and you will lose customers. And then you will close your business, and you will say business is bad. And yet others are thriving in the same business. Right? Yeah, so that to me is of great value. How you handle customers and how you yourself, you're trained to handle customers helps a lot.
Wow, that's great. And what I hear you saying is that people buy you before they can even buy your product.
That's correct. That is correct.
So it's not just presenting the product to the people, but also how you present it.
Correct.
You know, you can serve the same meal, but one may have a very good presentation, and people will be having a great appetite, and somebody else may just bring it. It's the same meal, but people feel like, I don't want to touch that. So presentation of your product, of your services to the customer is very, very important. The way you treat them, and I think what I hear him say is talking about your attitude toward people. You can't be there, you're trying to sell a product, you look like you're angry, you look like you're gloomy, you're not happy, you look like you don't even believe in that product, you know. You know, there are some adverts that come even on TV and such, and people order them, not because they really needed them, because of the presentation. Right. That's why they have billboards on the highways, just to tell people, this is a wonderful product.
Correct.
This is something, it will change your life. And then I like what you talked about, the testimonials, that you sell an insurance or something a product to somebody, and then you tell them, can you share with your friends what the benefits? Because people are likely, and I think there's a principle in the Bible, like I'm reminded of when Jesus, met this woman, the Samaritan woman, and then when she encountered Jesus, she went, because it's a marketing, skill. When she encountered Jesus, she now went to the whole city talking about it.
Samaria.
The Samaritan. And the Bible says many of them came to the Lord not because Jesus went there, but because of her. So I think that's a very important principle, that whenever we are selling a product, can people carry that as their own? Are you able to bring people where, I think there is a place of delight, where they are also delighted, and they will say, my goodness, if you buy this, and people always laugh to ask, oh, where did you buy your phone? Where did you buy your table? Where did you buy your car? Where, the other day somebody was asking me, where did you buy your car? I mean, because people are always looking for referrals. And referrals are very powerful, like you have said. If somebody sees in a nice suit or a nice shoe, they want to ask, please, can you tell me, where did you buy? And most likely, they will start looking for the same because they like it. They already see it. There's a testimony. And I think that's a very important principle that we need to bring our customers to the place where they now can talk for us. They can share. Because if they don't have a good experience, what will happen? They will also go share the negative, the bad, the ugly. They say, oh my, don't try that. Don't go to that business. Don't. I mean, it's the way I was treated. I was not happy, or it was fake. I mean, it is not good. And I think this is important. I don't know what Enoch you're hearing.
Well, thank you so much. Very important. Customer is king, and there's a statement that says a loyal customer is the best business strategy. If you can handle your customer so well, you can be able to grow in ways even unimagined. When you look at in Uganda, we had a scenario of one of the coffee shops. Not actually a coffee shop now; it's a very big thing now. Cafe Javas started as doing coffee. Now they do foods, and they have a chain of them. Now even here in Kenya, I am not marketing them, but I'm happy that at least from Uganda we have something that has crossed over. Yes, Cafe Javas. Some people call it CJ. So Cafe Javas, you love the experience when you go there. The way they welcome you, the ladies. I mean, not the ladies only, but the gents. They're smiling. You feel at home. They welcome you. They're excited. Have you seen those people playing those drums, dancing, and celebrating birthdays? Cafe Javas initiated that.
And I would want you to have that company that you just mentioned, pay us some royalties. Because you mentioned them many times. I
mean, they should. They should. Social media should make it move so that, they get this message. But also they have nice food.
Right.
Now, one day they got a scenario. There's a client who came over and he ordered for a milkshake. When he ordered for a milkshake, he claims that it had a rat in it.
A milkshake.
A milkshake with a rat in it.
Maybe a rat shake or something.
Imagine a milkshake with a rat in it. It was a challenge because that is when most of us were looking and were keen. How are they going to handle this? Is it even real? We wanted to hear the statement they're going to release out because people love CJ, they love the milkshake, the food and everything. But that time, when you just had the statement, or maybe the lady moving the video, I took milkshake with a rat in it, you'll be like, oh God. I took milkshake yesterday. Did it have a rat in it? Even if you are planning that evening to go to Cafe Javas, you don't want to go. Even if it was not real, just because of that imagination of a rat in a milkshake, you don't want. Of course, I'm not demarketing people doing milkshakes. Please go for your milkshake. I in fact, if we have any believer who's doing these milkshakes, I love milkshakes. We can, advertise them. So what I'm trying to mean is we are focusing on how are they going to handle this. Because now then, it was a determining factor. Are they going to retain the clients they have right now? Are they going to go down, like, fall, hands down? In Uganda, we have a saying, Nenkona nenywayo. I mean, you fall, and then this one it also hits the ground.
Call it unywayo.
Nenkona nenywa. You fall back like Goliath. So
here we say nenyuo nenyuo.
Nenyuo nenyuo.
That's different.
So nenyuo is it Kikuyu? So
that is drink.
They gave me a name in Kikuyu. It's New Creation means? Roishero Roero. Roishero. So I'm the Roishero Roero. Oh my God, I may twist my tongue. New generation. Now, because when you think about it, a rat blended in a milkshake. Because they came and actually gave a clear statement. Because you could wonder, how can a rat be blended in a milkshake? A rat. That means you could have particles of blood, particles of you call them offals or intestines there. You know, whatever, it is a funny experience. Until they came to explain to us that, you know, this is not how it is. You know, maybe this one was just bad mouthing or whatever. It is not the truth. The truth. They came up and then they had to, you know, call this lady and then try to reconcile. Very many businesses, if you make such an approach, you will hear someone abusing you, you know, abusing the client, abusing everyone. You don't even know what you're talking about. How can we do this? But the way they approached that, they were able to get back that client and even most of us who are focusing at CJ. So the way you handle your clients, the way you explain, the statements you give out there, they determine so much whether you are going to lose your entire market base or you are going to even gain more. Because I believe that is when people now wanted to find out. Even if most of the people were not even trying out CJ. But because of that experience, so many people came to find out. Okay, how does the milkshake look like? Very many clients came, how do they treat clients? They even grew bigger. Right now, those people have about 12 branches, 8 in Uganda, about 4, I think 3 or 4.
So the point you're making here is how do you deal with a difficulty customer?
Yes.
Well, you're talking about customer today.
Sure.
Maybe Dr. Mungai can expand a little bit. If you have, of course, not all customers. There are some who may come and they want to exploit your business.
Yeah.
They may even create something, you know, which is not real, which would be unfortunate. Okay, some things some may come with a genuine complaint. Others may come with something they have cooked and maybe they want compensation or something. So, but all of them are customers. So how do you deal with the difficult, or how do you deal with the challenges or complaints from customers, you know?
Now, dealing with customer complaint is very important and very key in a business, because how you deal with a complaint from a customer determines whether that customer will be satisfied and will come back, or he will go and badmouth you. Because a dissatisfied customer will tell, we normally say in marketing, will tell might be 12 more people about how bad your business service is.
That's a lot, yeah.
A satisfied customer might tell 1 or 2.
Wow.
But a dissatisfied one will go extra mile, will do really bad hard work. They're angry, they'll tell everybody. Now, in my view, it starts from customer experience. How do you handle that? It starts from customer experience. That means what I'm trying to say is that you should not be reactionary, but you should be proactive to ensure that you set your system such that you eliminate incidences of customer dissatisfaction. You see? Of course, even after setting your system, they will still have 1 or 2 complaining. But start with a system which ensures a fantastic customer experience. How is that done? Is to look at how you interact with the customers, right from the point you get in touch with them, whether it is online, whether it's when a customer walks into your door, whether it's when a customer comes to make an inquiry. The experience that they start to have with you and with your brand and with your establishment is very, very important. It comes to the offering of the service or the buying of the product, and then comes to the after-sales service and how you treat them. Asking them for feedback, getting to ask them, how was your experience when you came into our premise? How were you treated? That means you give the customer a voice that he can actually tell you that there was this issue. So when a customer is dissatisfied, you have a system that allows the customer to express this dissatisfaction to you, because you have actually given them a forum to do it. If you do not give them that forum, they'll go all around, and the next thing you find, you are trending on social media. How do you trend? Simply because you never gave the customer a voice in your establishment to speak to you. That's where now customer feedback comes in. I'll give you an example. I went to see a consultant in a certain hospital. I'm not going to mention it. And right from the parking, there was very good experience. That means the askari there is concerned about patients coming. He wants to know where you're going to park. He'll show you where to park. You enter the door, you find the askari. He's trained on how to handle you.
Yeah.
He'll ask you, where do you want to go? I said, I want to see so and so a consultant. I was told to go to a particular floor. I reached there, found another askari. Actually, the lift even had an askari.
Okay.
And he was asking you, where do you want to go? They even pressed it for you. And then I reached the floor I was going to. I was supposed to meet the consultant at about 2. I was handled very well by the askari there. As I was handled very well by the customer care staff. I don't know, that's what you call them in a hospital.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who take your details and all that, and ensure that your insurance or whatever it is, how you are paying is all sorted out.
Yeah.
And I was shown where to sit. I went to the trench. I was taken the blood pressure and all that. And then I sat down waiting for the consultant. Now, by that point, I was so happy about the experience.
Yeah.
However, issues will still come. The consultant did not show up.
Wow.
He was supposed to be, the appointment was 2. I'm an early bird, so I was there at 1:30. 2 came, the consultant is there. I had finished all this process, now I'm waiting. 2:30 came.
Wow.
Now, a good customer experience, people who are trained in customer experience, will ensure that the people who are there, they first of all feel your pain. And the first thing I realized is that they started coming to me, or the consultant has delayed. It's not the consultant now, it's the people I have been dealing with.
That's good.
They told me, oh, Francis, the consultant has delayed, but he's on his way, he's coming. Reassurance. You know? 2:45, I was a bit mad. I was like, hey, is this consultant coming or is he not coming? They said, let me call him. They called the consultant. Now, to cut the whole story short, the consultant came at 3. That's 1 hour and 30 minutes from the time I entered the hospital.
Wow.
And much as I was happy about the customer experience, but now I was starting to doubt what's happening.
Wow.
But guess what happened? When I entered in, the first thing the consultant did was he apologized.
That's good.
Okay.
He apologized, that means he empathized with me. He said, I have been told you are here from 1:30, now it's 3. However, the reason why I delayed is because I had a surgery. I'm actually coming from a theater. So you see now for me, he's explained to me, then I realized actually he was handling a bigger issue than me. You see? Okay. So you see the whole process has taken care of the customer in a way that the customer feel part and parcel of being taken care of by this establishment.
Yeah.
The customer has been informed of what the issues are. The customer has been briefed on what is happening, so he's no longer in the dark.
Yeah.
And then an apology has been given. So the end result of all this is that I felt that I was so satisfied. The moment I came out from the consultant, as I was walking to the lift, the lady who welcomed me to the clinic was there with a customer satisfaction form.
Wow.
Actually electronic. And he said, how would you rate our service today? We know we have actually kept you here for more than an hour. Will you rate us so you rate them from a spectrum of 0 to 10, 10 being the highest. And I told them, I was a bit mad, but I understood the problem. So I rate you a 9.
That's good.
You see?
Wow.
So
I thought you give them a 2 or 3.
no. If they had not done what they did, I would have rated them a 2.
Yes.
I would even never have gone back. But yes, the problem came in. But the way they handled the whole thing.
That's very good.
Yeah, they didn't keep me in the dark. They were very open about it.
Yeah.
They explained to me. And I actually said, wow, this is what I want. Because problems will always be there. Issues like the CJ, somebody might have a customer who is malicious. You know, those things will happen. You might even have a genuine concern.
Yes.
But everybody is watching. How will you handle it?
That's good.
Wow. So what you're saying, genuinely things can go wrong.
Yes.
Even when you have done your best. Because the consultant here is saying, I wanted to be here. It's not like I told you 2 o'clock and then I didn't plan to be here. I had planned, but we know there are also limitations. Things can happen along the way. But what you do when that has happened, it's more important than actually the actual problem. Because what we do many times, or many businesses will do, they will shelve that and say, they will understand, all If they're not happy, they can go to somebody else. But you see, they tried to bring you still on board. Even when you talk about it, I'm sure maybe, I don't know how long ago was that, how many years?
It's actually about 2 months ago.
2 months ago. You see, 2 months, you're still talking about it. And I'm sure even after 2 years, you still say the same of that, farm or business. So I think what you do, problems will come.
Yeah.
Customers, there are times it's hard to please everybody equally. Of course, expectations are also different. There are customers who will come and the expectations may be very high up there. And maybe you're not able to reach them or achieve, whatever their goals are. So I think it's good to also, like you're saying, I agree with you, to have a system of handling, customer feedback. So that if there's a complaint, there's a challenge, there's a delay, people were delayed unnecessarily and all that, then you can come back, talk to them. But if you don't have a system, can you imagine if you left that place without that explanation and apology? What would have happened? Maybe you decide, I'll never go back there.
Or I go to social media.
Or you go to social media and start complaining. Oh, have you visited this hospital or this supermarket? Or what they are doing there is not good because they are not happy. And of course, today now social media has become the next neighbor, the next door neighbor, where if you're not happy with something, now people go to social media. It's not just telling one or two people. And you see social media, if you put something there, you're likely to have hundreds and thousands of people see it. So actually the business will be losing a great deal. So if we can have a good system of handling problems in a business and expect that there will be challenges. Let's not run business thinking we are perfect. Oh, we know, we are Mr. Fix-It. We know what we are doing. We know how to handle things. Let's expect that there will be challenges. We will not meet everybody's expectation. Learn to say sorry. We apologize. We know this didn't go as per our expectation. We will correct that. I've been to a few restaurants, I don't know that in Kenya or other places where if you just, a slight complaint, maybe the food was cold or maybe there was so much delay. Okay, they were trying their best. And what they do, the people who are very serious with the customer, even the manager will come later on, not just the waiter. The manager will come and say, sorry, you had a complaint. So they are trained. The waiters are trained. If a customer complains, don't keep it to yourself. Don't just say, oh, I'm so sorry. No. Escalate it to the manager. The manager comes before you are still having your meal. And they say, we're sorry, we apologize. And then when you're done, I've had a few places where they say, would you like to have a dessert? And this is on the house, they'll give you a dessert. By the time you leave there, you don't even remember. You don't even remember that there was delay or food was, you're almost telling yourself, thank God the food was cold. And now
I have some dessert.
I have some dessert or something like that.
You don't have to pay for.
That's true. They say that's on the house. I mean, so by the time you have been pampered, the anger or the frustration is gone. By the time you leave that place, you are a free person. So they may have lost, in quotes, let's say the dessert was 300 shillings or something like that, or even 500 shillings. But you see, they understand. If you go and you never come back for the next many years, and you tell somebody else, they may not be losing 300 or 500 shillings.
Exactly.
They may be losing 20,000, 100,000 over time. Reverend Steve, what are you here?
I'm thinking in the area of acquiring a customer, it is important that we also are careful as business owners not to make the customer feel like you're too much on their face. And I will explain that sometimes you go into the mall, in the food court, and you find people running to you with menus. Oftentimes, I would never buy food because someone was running to me with a menu. Because that feel like you're invading my privacy.
Bombarded with
You're just, that's not respect. You're coming to me with a menu just because I'm walking around your restaurant. So I think that kind of a way, I don't know how they do, but I think to me, that doesn't create business. I think the way to acquire customers or new customers is creating value, so that people now find value in coming to your restaurant or your business. The next thing I think about customers is thinking about what customers are thinking about. Becoming a customer. You're a business owner, but think like a customer.
Yes.
Okay. So once you think like a customer, you're able to now handle the customer the way a customer is supposed to be handled. All right. I do remember one time I was buying fruits and vegetables somewhere here in Nairobi, and I spoke to that lady, and I still remember how she treated me so kindly. She said, "You don't have to leave the car. I'll bring everything there." And so she would bring me the mangoes. Said, "Do you like these ones? If you don't like them, I will." And then she will add an extra one. And the way she handled me with care, and then she brought everything and put it in the car. And she says, and then the last thing she said, "See you next week." Wow. In other words, she is doing her business with an understanding that she wants me to come back again.
Yes.
Sometimes I think we make sales in business without thinking that the most important sale is not today's sale.
Yes.
It's the recurrent sale, the one that keeps coming, the customer that keeps coming. And that's why airlines are busy, because by the time you buy your ticket and the time you board a flight, the treatment that you get in the airline, the air hostesses, the food and everything, the chair, the seat that you sit on, all those things complement your purchase, your money. You feel like I remember one time a guy was telling me he was traveling to the U.S. and he did not know that after he bought his ticket that the food was included.
Okay.
So the air hostesses would come and say, "Sir, would you like to eat?" He would say, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay." Because he didn't have money.
I can't afford it.
That should have been an African.
So when he got to London Heathrow, somebody said to him, one of the customers said, "I saw like you did not eat." He said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have any money." He said, "Well, when you bought the ticket, the food was included."
Wow.
so when he took the next flight, he was asking for food every minute.
Bring it on.
Yeah, okay. Give me some juice. Because he knew he had already paid for it.
Sure.
And so that understanding of a customer coming and feeling like you took care of all the needs according to your ability for that customer is very, very important. So that a customer walks out of your establishment or your business feeling like they are well taken care of. That is very, very important in being able to succeed in business. You will not succeed in business if your customers are not happy. All right? Yeah. Now, if you own a business, and I will repeat this again, if you own a business and you're the business owner, if you're present in that business, make it your routine or your habit to talk to customers.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? Even mention them. Mention to them, "I'm the owner of the business. But I want to make sure that you're happy. Is there anything that I can do for you?"
Sure.
When you say that, the customer feels very comfortable, very, very comfortable. Make sure that the customer is going away feeling like they are well taken care of, they are handled well, they are handled properly, and you'll be successful. I've done in my own life quite a number of businesses, but the one I enjoyed most was selling cars. I had a dealership in the U.S. and sold a lot of cars, going into the auctions and buying cars and marketing so that the customers can come in. And I remember one day I sold 13 cars in one day.
Wow.
Those are a lot of sales. Those are a number of years ago. But then a selling of a car is a hard sell because, people don't buy a car every day.
Sure.
And so you really have to market yourself out in the newspapers, the way you present yourself in the newspapers, the way you market yourself, the way you talk to the next customer. So that if I sell a car to you, I'm expecting that you're going to tell your family members and your neighbors where to come and buy a good car. That to me, I'm selling to you, but I'm not thinking about you as much as I'm thinking about the people that are connected to you. If you don't tell others about my business, I did not do well. Yeah, I fail. And so it's important, it's very, very important that referral business becomes key to growing your business. Secondly, I find people opening businesses in the malls. And because now they're in the mall, and I have a small business, I feel like the mall should market for me my business. No, the mall, their work is to lease. You have to market your own business. All right? Although the mall is big, you have to make sure that the people that are coming into the mall, some of them are coming specifically to your business. And the only way to do it is the customer that comes in, take care of them. Take care of them so that they can go tell others about them. The next thing, don't sell what everyone else is selling. Find out what is it that the customers are looking for and make it available. You know, if I find that there's a shortage of cups, that's what I'm going to bring. Because then it's going to be what people are going to buy. And I'll finish with this. 2 people went to India to market for shoes many years ago. And they came back to the US. One guy said to the boss, there is no market for shoes because nobody wears shoes there. There's no market.
Yeah.
We can do business there. The other guy said, I think we have a tremendous amount of business there because everybody needs shoes there.
Exactly.
It's an opportunity to sell shoes. It's all about what you see in the marketplace. Because most people sell what they see other people sell. But I think it's important to sell what customers need. And sometimes when a new thing comes into the market, people think, is this going to sell? Yes, it will. If people need it, people are going to buy it. Yeah. So go for it. Don't go for it because someone else is selling it. Go for it because you've done your survey and discovered that if I bring this item, people will need it or people already need it and they're going to buy from it. Yeah.
Wow, a number of keys there, very important principles. And the one that I caught is that don't overwhelm your customer. Give them room to make decision. And I think that is becoming very popular in Kenya, where you go somewhere like on the streets, especially where they sell meat, nyama choma, and it's like by the time you leave your car, you are just walking in, there are 20 people here who are calling you and pushing you around. No, can you taste this? Come here, come there. And there are people who don't like that.
Yes. I don't like it.
So you feel like, this is overwhelming. I would rather go somewhere and I'll enjoy my space because people love their space. So again, or even you enter into a store and you have, 3 people here waiting for you. They are, burdening you with all kind of information or menus, like you're saying, and you can't even decide. So somehow, it's just like, even like the Maasai market. There are people like people from the Western world. Some of them, I hear them say, when I get there, I can go to see, but not to buy, because they get overwhelmed. Because by the time they see you coming, there are like 30 people, and most of them don't even own the merchandise. They're actually brokers. So yeah, you call them what?
Kamageras.
Kamageras. What does that mean?
The ones who bring. There's a conductor, and there's a guy who goes to get
to bring people, and
so
then
that's
they
Kamagera.
Kamagera. Okay. That's a new one. Okay. So a lot of people now, can you imagine you're just walking in, especially somebody who has never been to Kenya, they don't know the culture here, and then you have 30 people surrounding you, calling you every direction. You have like a mind block. You don't know where to go. You're seeing a market with like 500 people. So you don't even know where to start. I think some people, and most people like me, would want to, let me walk around. If I like something, I will ask, what is this? How much are you selling? But if you are 30 people surrounding me and everybody say, no, come this way, no, come. Sometimes it may be, they're tempted to, these are thugs. They want to steal from me. Am I safe? Yeah. So I think you have to know how to handle your customer. Don't overwhelm them with information with the too many people surrounding them. And then training, like he has mentioned, I think we need to train our customer care, teams and people. The much we train them, the more they know how to handle, customers. So I realize our time is really gone. Maybe you can give us a few more tips. And
well, the other thing that we need to actually look at when we are doing business is being honest and transparent. And this is very important because that's how you start to retain your customers. We have cases whereby some people who are unscrupulous, they'll, for example, like I've seen people selling potatoes along the streets, especially in major highways, potatoes, peas, and the rest of it.
yeah,
And they have a jerry can, let's say a 10-kilo jerry can, where they are selling potatoes, but it has got a force bottle. So they tell you this is 300, but when they pour, you realize, what has come into your bag? It's actually very retro.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not honest with your customers, then you're not looking at their repeat business. You're only looking at today. And people forget that when a customer buys from you, they go back home and they compare notes. And I was telling someone that you might buy something, and the moment you reach home, you're taking it to your wife, and you tell her, I bought this cup at 300. She tells me, this cup, no, it's only 100.
wow.
Now, you start to hate the cup, and you start to hate the business that sold you that cup,
Yeah.
because the
Exploited.
business exploited you. Don't look for a quick shilling. Be transparent and honest with your customers. In fact, price your products competitively. Give them quality products. Don't put the good viazis on top and the rotten ones in the middle and good ones at the lower bottom, because when you pour then the middle band, nobody will see.
Wow.
Remember, there's what we call post-purchase dissonance. That means every person, after purchasing whatever service that they purchase from you, they will always go and compare notes.
Yeah.
They'll want to know, did I get value? Was I cheated? Did I get, everybody wants to feel like he won.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to make your business a win-win for your customer.
Right.
That even after they purchase, even they talk to their friends, the person will tell them, actually you got something, a good deal.
Oh, yeah.
You got good quality. So that is very, very, very important. I have an issue that I faced buying something along one of the major highways. I don't want to mention it because I don't want to chase away their customers. But it was many, many years ago. And what happened is that there was a property magazine that came out, and it was selling at 80 shillings. I had never seen it. So, they come and they show you very nice magazines, and you're in the car, and of course the traffic light's about to be released, and you'll say this looks good with nice photos. And they had put a price there, I think, of about 250 shillings. So I quickly paid and enjoyed my magazine as I drove along the highway at the traffic lights. But by the time I reached home, I realized actually it was a sticker which had been put on top of the magazine. And I realized there was something transparent which was showing me like there's another figure. So I unpeeled the sticker, the 250 sticker, only to realize the actual price was 80 shillings. I felt so cheated.
Wow.
I felt like I would throw away the magazine,
Wow.
And I swore never to go back and buy anything from the same hawkers.
Wow.
Because I had also realized the same highway, anything they tell you 1,500, for example, when you go to the shop, you realize it's selling at 500 shillings. Yeah. But there's somebody who does not know the actual price of that product. And therefore, he'll give you the 1,500, but a day will come, he'll go and realize actually this was 500 shillings. So don't make your business a business whereby you're actually taking advantage of your customers simply because you gave them a very high price, they didn't negotiate.
Yeah. Unless you're selling in the auction.
Unless it's an auction.
Yeah, because the auction you have to start high.
You start auction, you start low.
You start low, yeah.
And then it's them who take you up.
They take you up.
Because they're fighting to get that product until you're made with one person.
Yeah.
So don't take advantage of your customers. Price your products competitively. Ensure it is quality. Ensure that whatever you're saying your product is actually is. That's a good way of retaining your customers.
What is this mind and I appreciate what you're saying. What is this mind which people have that they'll say this product is 5,000, And when you bargain, they end up selling it to you at 1,000. Meaning, at 1,000, they are in business.
They're in business.
They
Exactly.
are making a profit. So why do they have to start from 5,000?
They start there because you feel like you've got a deal.
Wow.
That's called, I think there's also an element of what we call free market. Free market is where you go and you find a product is priced high. It's your job now to negotiate. So unless you understand that. Now, if you go to, say, a supermarket and you find that they are selling sugar for 300, it will be difficult for you to go and ask them to reduce the price. But if you find a Maasai man selling you a belt and gives you 2,500, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to negotiate with them. This is a free market. Okay, they gain from you, they lose with the other one. I was buying a belt the other day, and I was with a friend of mine, and he's the Maasai guy that was selling it to me. The friend I was with, he said to him, "You sold it to me for 500 last week. Why you telling him 3,000?" So the Maasai guy said, "No, you're supposed to keep quiet when I'm doing my business."
You're bringing it down.
Yes, because there's also an element for business. You have to understand where you're doing business, right? Yeah. If you go to, say, where they're selling used clothes like a Komba, you're not going to find the same price that you find in the mall. They will give you a price, and then it's your job to understand how to negotiate.
But some people may be offended or chased away.
Right.
There are people, because generally people will know a belt, that kind of a belt may not be 3,000.
But I might not know.
You know, there are people who may not know.
Right.
So, versus the ones who know versus the ones who don't know, how much would you rather not keep it at a good price, where somebody will hear, maybe you start 700, and they will know this is reasonable because I mean, and you'll sell more.
Correct.
But there's somebody you tell 3,000, they'll roll up their window and they forget about it.
Right.
So I think that balance, like you're saying, you should be honest.
Yes.
You should be honest because you still remember that magazine, property, magazine where you buy it for 250, only to realize it was 80 shillings. So somebody took advantage. So you may not go back to them because you realize actually I don't know, Enoch, what is your contribution on
You're
this?
right, and I believe, I think we have the same mother who breastfeeds these people, because the same person in Uganda, when you buy charcoal, they sell in these tins, they sell in these tins. So they call it kugonga. They heat it, they heat it very hard so that you can get just less. So when I came to Kenya, I was looking for one who's doing different, and I found they have the same thing. And when I realized you are doing the same thing, I moved to the next person. So it is a challenge that even us as Christians, we are in business. There are those elements that are going to mark you out.
Right.
When someone says, okay, you are doing like the others, then you're not honest, So honesty is very key. It's going to help you maintain your clientele. In fact, we've been handling competition, and I enjoyed the discussion. And when you look at it, if you are so nice, because customer management, customer handling is key, you're going to beat the competition.
Right.
You're going to beat the competition, I tell you. Look at Kamkunji. Kamkunji, they do sell plastics, mostly plastics. How many people are selling plastics in Kamkunji? How many? Very many.
Yeah, very many.
Very many. But people are succeeding there. So I believe that there's a person who is selling more because he has handled his or her clients so well. That is how you beat the competition. Be nice, do not overcharge, and be fast.
What if a customer tells you, this is 500, negotiable?
Yes.
Now you begin to negotiate. It's up to you to negotiate, because I'm still there.
Actually, what I would look at, Steve, is there should be room for negotiation. Good. That I agree.
Good.
So if the product is 500,
Right.
don't make it the 500 times 3.
Okay.
Okay. If it's 500 that you want to sell at 500, then ask for 700.
Right.
Then we can come to 550, 600.
Okay.
But when you overprice 3 times,
Will the customer feel like they got a good discount if they get 500 or if they get 1,000?
remember here we are talking about customer retention.
Okay.
Because if you come from, let's say, 1,500 for something that you should actually sell at 500,
Right.
you are not being honest with your customer.
Right.
And you're not thinking about tomorrow, because this person will also go to somebody else. The person will tell him, like your case, the belt is 500 shillings. Why ask for 3,000 shillings?
Right.
However, if the person had told you 700 or 800 and you negotiate and you buy at 600, it is reasonable, because it will not be that somebody will have to sell at exactly the same price.
Correct.
So what we're talking about here is don't overprice yourself out of the market because of today's gain. Think about tomorrow's gain.
I like that.
Thank you. Now, I'll give you an example. One of the fastest growing industrial, call it estate in Nairobi, in Kenya, is Eastleigh.
Okay.
I don't know whether you've gone there.
They've
actually building one of the biggest malls around.
Many years ago.
Now, you better go back and just have a look at what they're doing. And the interesting thing with this is that it's now even feeding a lot of people all over the country who are going to buy and resell. And one of the key factors that you realize, characteristic obviously, is that if you go and ask for this cup and they tell you it's 500, and you go round, almost everybody will be about 500 plus minus 10 shilling or something like that.
That's good.
You know? So even in your mind, you realize actually nobody is taking advantage of you. You see? And what that has done is that it has drawn a lot of people into that area. You know? And the so-called guys who are overpricing themselves, people have run away from them.
You see?
But people want to go here because why? They're getting value. Remember, a customer will buy from you when the value they are getting exceeds the money they are paying you.
That's good.
Okay.
I like that.
So you need to look at this, because there's no, nobody knows the price of this car, for example.
Right.
But you'll have to assess, perceive that what am I paying for what I'm getting.
Right.
So that perception of value is very, very, very important. And you alluded to the issue of value. People buy because of the value they are going to get out of what. Correct. So don't make your customers feel like they overpaid for that value.
Because eventually they'll still discover.
They will discover.
Whether tomorrow or the day.
Now, what I'm hearing you say is that somebody found a niche out of the exploitation.
Yes.
And now they're doing better.
But doesn't, out of the exploitation.
Out of the, somebody is exploiting.
Yes.
And
Then
somebody
the
comes
opposite.
and doesn't exploit.
Yes.
And they're doing much better than the person who was exploiting.
Exactly. Because
and runs
the
them out of
exploiting
business. Yes.
does not have future customers. You know?
It's only one time.
It's one time.
One time doesn't sustain a
Yes,
business.
exactly. And I know it looks like umeangukia, you as a business person.
For one time.
That's for one time. But remember, out of 10 customers who buy from you, a number of them will discover there's a problem.
Right, that's correct.
And you'll not retain those
That's
customers. But if they perceive value, like Eastleigh now, they'll bring all their friends.
Right.
Like I see my wife going to Eastleigh every other day. She's not a businesswoman, but she tells me of anything, even a mattress. Oh, let's go to Eastleigh.
I told one Kinyosi that he cut my hair and charged me too much. I say, I don't have the grace to negotiate with you about my hair. I'll pay you, but I'll never come back. But I don't have the grace to sit here and talk with you. I said to him, what you've lost is not just my business, but anybody that I know.
And he was charging you after he had no idea.
He had joined me.
So you can't return the hair.
And it's even challenging when you look at the digital era we are in. People compare prices very fast. You tell me this is 500. I'll go to my phone. Look at people who are selling online.
Check it.
I find out it is less. I just move.
Move away.
That's true.
You have not gotten a chance to negotiate, to interact with this client. Someone just walks away.
I like what he's saying, because it's a very important phenomenon. People today, as you're saying, they are so much online. They actually go and look at a physical product in a shop. So they test it, they like it, they whatever. You tell them the price, they actually look for exactly the same product, especially if it's branded, and they see. And then all of a sudden, a guy disappears. So,
but also we're saying it's also possible to have the same product sell for less somewhere else. But I can still buy it more expensive here.
But reasonably.
Reasonably. Reasonably.
Don't buy something, you buy it here for 500 and then you get it somewhere else 3,000. It doesn't make sense. The same product.
That is exploitation.
You know, that's
because also remember, there's a cost of, for example, if you find it in my shop here and you find it's 500, then online you find you can get it at 450 in Eastleigh. We might be 15, 20 kilometers from Eastleigh. there's also a cost of going to Eastleigh.
Traveling.
So you're asking yourself, should I travel to Eastleigh or town or whichever that place is, parking and all that, because of 500 or 50 shillings or 100?
If somebody doesn't have a shop, they're selling online, their prices will be lower than me if I have a shop.
Yeah.
Because I'm paying my employees, I'm paying electricity. But this guy has a store, and all he does is you order, he ships to you. So sometimes prices will vary because of your expenses.
Exactly.
And also, to add on what you've said, because now it is challenging for small business owners, someone could be selling this cup at 500 because he has not made enough research.
Right.
Maybe the supplier is maybe expensive. He's buying it at maybe more expensive.
They were also exploited.
Yeah, maybe they were also exploited. So maybe this is a time when we advise them to change the supplier.
Right.
Who is your supplier?
Make
research. Compare. Make research. Who is giving me at a cheaper price so that I can be in the market?
Right.
When you look at Uganda, I love comparing with these big tech companies and telecom companies. We have MTN, we have Airtel. MTN came from South Africa. It's a foreign company. But when it came, it was able to beat the market. But how did it do it? It knew how Airtel was doing it, and then worried. There was a telecom company that was giving, you could also talk for the entire day at only 10 bob. Can you imagine? At 10 bob, that was worried strategy. You know, so those who came in the market, they were like, how are we going to beat Warid? It has been here for a long time. You cannot sell to me airtime of 30 bob if there's a telecom company that is selling at 10 shillings. You get the idea. So they had to adjust. Those who are selling at 30, 50, 100, they had to come back.
They had to adjust.
To adjust. So in business also, adjustment, you should give room to adjustment. It's very, very key.
But also I think it's value.
Yes.
Also I think it's value. People buy value more than they buy the product.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can go to a restaurant and they give you chicken wings for maybe 5,000 shillings. And you go to another place, they give it to you for 300 shillings. Because chicken is chicken, right?
Yes. Also remember, there's also the experience of that chicken.
That's correct.
How you're taking the chicken. For
That's
example,
right.
there might be sitting space, there might be nice music, there is whatever.
Yeah.
So remember, you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
But if you're just collecting a chicken and going with it, it's going to be cheaper.
And in Uganda, you'll be surprised in Uganda, chicken goes through the windows. Because it is too much. You drive through Uganda, you will see. Everyone wants to sell to you chicken.
Because it's Uganda once.
They have a lot of chicken.
There's a lot of it.
And along the way, people are selling chicken with some shikaki on the bus windows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that would be cheaper.
Yes,
so
that would be
they're not paying any rent.
There's no rent.
No employees.
So don't compare that with a CJ. It's not the same.
No. So don't.
Even if you have a girlfriend, you can't take her for that one in the window because it's cheaper. You want to save.
Maybe we are doing a tour. I can take her for a tour. That's another experience.
So what we are saying, beside what you are paying for the actual product, there are so many other things that determine the price.
Yes.
So the customers also consider that,
Exactly.
the ambience, the seating arrangement, and all that. There's some restaurants, establishment, the customer
name.
care, the name, and all that. Some businesses, all they said is name. They are known that this is their product and all that. There's some, like we're talking about food. There's a restaurant you can get in. You get in there happy and you come out crying because there's even smoke all over. So you are wondering, you can't even see each other in the restaurant.
It's known as Kibadaski.
It's what?
Kibadaski.
Kibadaski.
After Kepinski. So the opposite of Kepinski is Kibadaski. So you either choose you want to go to a Kibadaski or a Kepinski. And the price is not the same. Because the experience is not the same. Yes, it's chicken, but the experience is not the same.
Well, I forgot you grew up in Kawangoa.
You can grow your business. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next week. God bless.
Amen. Enoch, what's your final closing remark?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, for staying up to this time. We want to appreciate you. We want to encourage you that every Thursday you need to set up aside this time and come and learn about business. There's so much we have to share with you. I also want to welcome you all to our service on Sunday. I want to pass this. Bishop is going to be blessing us so much. It is not only business, but also spiritual empowerment. I want to call my friends, Ugandans, wherever you are. OFC is the place to be. People from Rwanda, Burundi, Africa, even the rest of the world. This is a good place to be. We are not only empowered financially, but also spiritually. You know, the Bible says that God wants us to prosper in all things, spirit, soul, and body. So as we work on the body part, the financial bit of it, then the spiritual part also should be enriched, and there's no better place to be. I can't wait to see you next Thursday. God bless you.
That's called Kingdom Business.
Kingdom business. Exactly. Yes.
Thank you, Anna, for being here. And like what he says is true. We are. One thing I love about church is that it's all round. Yeah. Some people think church is all about going to heaven, but Jesus said, "Occupy," which also means do business until I come. That's why we are talking about business until he comes. When he comes, we forget about everything else. So even for your spiritual growth, empowerment, join us. Like today, this evening, we have a powerful service. We are calling it Family Worship Night from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. You can join us for our evening of worship and prayer and waiting on God, and a powerful service this evening. And then on Sunday, at the House of Faith, OFC Thika Road, we are right here along the superhighway. You can also come and join us, worship with us, and the Lord will bless you in the name of Jesus. Bishop Mungai, the last comment.
So viewers, we are so happy that you've allowed us to come into your homes, into your television sets, into your iPhones and phones and Android phones and all that. And it's really our joy. We believe that next week, same time, you'll be able to be tuned. And today, just to summarize, is take care of your customer, because if you don't take care of your customer, somebody else will take care of your customer. It's your duty now to ensure that you create a stable customer base, create a loyal customer. You need to retain that customer, and you need to, above all, excite your customer. That means you need to do more than meet the expectation. That's what we call customer delight. So we want you to be delighting your customer so much that when they think of services or products, they come to you in your line of business, and God will bless you. So we want your business to grow. We are praying for you, but remember, prayer alone is not enough. We also want to equip you with skills from these discussions that we are having, that are going to be tips that are going to help you run your business and make it successful. Revenue is very important, so we want you to generate enough revenue so that even when you come to church, God bless you.
Amen. We want you to grow. We want you to succeed. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Always wonderful to be here. And we look forward. Next time, we'll see what other topics we can handle. And you better tune in every Thursday, 9:30 on Family, or rather on Faith Today television. And I know on our social media platforms, that is on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. God bless you. God bless your business. See you next. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.